Okay, so the audio for this episode didn't actually record for most of it, and then I got sick with what we assume was a virus for a week, and then immediately got pneumonia the day after. So it's been 3 weeks, and I do not remember anything I said in the corrupted audio, so I get to just wing it with this voiceover, so here we go. Now today is the library episode. I did finish the library, but we are going to start with the rest of the stuff that I have done first. So here is, okay, never mind. Here's the library. I guess we are doing that. No, computer lab. Okay, this is the computer lab. Yes, the decorations, the actual furniture is not in there yet. This is just so I could figure out how I wanted to do the size of the room according to how many desks I could fit. So this is the computer lab. So off of the computer lab, we have a long hallway of different study rooms. These could be individual, these could be group, they are different sizes, they are different shapes, but they will all have the same stuff in them. So that was study room A, and then this is study room B. It's pretty much the exact same thing. And then this one should be study room C. This is more of like an individual. There's just going to be one chair there, and then there's going to be whiteboard, blackboards on the wall. And then, so that was C, so that would mean that this one should be D, I think. Then there's going to be like a little computer area in that center area there, and then there's going to be computers there with desks. This is like the big study room for like a big meeting. Maybe the teachers need it, maybe a club needs it or something. There will be whiteboards, black chalkboards in every single room, so, and a computer for like if there was a projector. There'll be projectors in every room. I'm not going to show every study room because it's the same thing, just a little slightly different shape. If we continue down the hallway here, and this whole hallway was just study rooms and computer lab, we still have all of this stuff off to the left here because I haven't actually done any furniture in the rest of the school, but I did open up this opening. So basically the top, is this the top floor? I think it's the top floor. Yeah, the top floor hallways are pretty much completely done. So on this side, I decided to do rooms for like clubs or rent-a-room, but I didn't like the word rent-a-room, so I'm just calling them club rooms. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, this is club room A. It's the same layout as the 2 floors below for the classrooms that are on the lower floors. This is B, and I still have to figure out how to get the shape figured out for like the desks, like how, because it's at a diagonal, so that will be hard. But this section will be pretty easy. It's just straightforward. Now this is different than the other floors because off to the left side there is the like staircase and then this other room, and that's the staircase location is different than the ones on the floor below because the top floor is like set back compared to the bottom 2 floors. So you can see here, this is where the staircase is, and that goes to the first floor. But then I wanted it to be slightly different. So actually both sides of the school have staircases in like completely different locations. So it's not, it kind of fits with that vibe of Phoenix, the original Phoenix Drop High, not quite making, I guess, efficiency sense in certain areas and having to walk like all the way across the school just to get to the staircase. So I tried to keep that, but also eliminate that at the same time. So now we are on the like second floor, like middle floor. I don't even know what floor, but this is the language hallway. This classroom is Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, and English. Obviously, if you download this map, you can make it whatever you want, but that's just what I decided I was going to do for the arrangement of classrooms. I named all of them. And then we have the German, Norwegian, Danish, Swedish, and Finnish classroom. I tried to keep the regions in the same classroom, and obviously there's so many languages in one class because there's multiple periods throughout the day for most schools. This, I just called it Eastern Asian language because I don't really have familiarity with most of them, so I wanted to be inclusive. And same thing for that's just Southeast Asia languages. Then we have Middle Eastern languages, because again, I'm just not like familiar with all of them, so you can change it to be whatever you want for that, or make it include whatever languages from that region that you want. And then to the hallway to the right of the Middle Eastern languages classroom, we have art and sewing, and then we have psychology, philosophy, and sociology. And I did decide to move werewolf class to this classroom, which is right next to the psychology, philosophy, sociology one, because I felt like these 3 rooms were just, these 3 categories of classes just kind of didn't fit anywhere else, so they're all 3 together in this little corridor. And I added a Mifwa class to go with the werewolf class. And I did move it just because I felt like this is makes the most sense of where it is, and I wanted to keep all of the like math and science together in the main original part of Phoenix Shrub High. Now, if we go down to the main floor, the floor that you will see when you enter the school, we have the nurse's office, and then we have the student council. And I decided to put these 2 on this floor and this area because I felt like they were important to have on a main level. And then we have that empty room that I don't know what to do with yet. And then we have our first study hall. I think there's like 5 study halls. So this is study hall A. And then I decided I wanted to make this little corridor basically like what we call today the special needs, but I thought that word doesn't really make any sense because it's not that they're special, they just need a different type of education. So I just renamed it to assisted education. So this is the assisted education corridor. So I decided to put it on the main floor because a lot of people who need assisted education have some physical limitations. It's just best to keep it on the main floor. So this first one is just the study hall that could be used for art. It could be used for study hall. It could be used for activities. This is the English language, and then we have the mathematics classroom for them, and then the sciences. If you think I'm missing something or need to make some adjustments to this area, please let me know in the comments. Okay, now let's take a trip to the other side of the first floor hallway. This is where all of the main things are going to be. So you have like your principal and vice principal's office, and then I have the teacher's lounge, staff lounge, break room, whatever you want to call it. And that leads us to the area where the top part of the swimming pool is, and then there's like a ticket booth, and then that goes upstairs to the library, which we finally can get to. This thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. Ignore the decorations. I got a little carried away with myself. So yeah, this is the library. It's got 2 floors, and I tried to stick to the Phoenix Drop High style, but also making it kind of that older style library. I kept the rugs from the original library and the style of the shelves, but I had some inspo pictures that I tried to incorporate in as well. There is a staircase. I almost forgot to put in a staircase. A front desk, lounges, everything that you would need. Yes, and I'm probably still going to do some more decorating when I do the decoration part of the school. And yeah, and there's skylights, everything. There's like a middle section you can walk out on, and then the top floor is what leads to the study rooms and the computer lab hallway that I'm going down right now. And that's pretty much it for the library. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I did label all of the rest of the classrooms, so I am going to kind of go through that really quick. So this is the bottom floor, so if we go up to the first floor, come up the main set from the original staircase from the original Phoenix Drop High, we have the start of the math. So we have pre-algebra, algebra 1, and algebra 2. And then at the end of the hallway where the art room used to be, we now have the geometry, trigonometry, and statistics, which on the board originally, ignore the crooked decorations, Afmo, Jess, whatever her team had that kind of stuff on the board, so I found it interesting that they chose it to be a math or an art class instead of a math class. And then around here we have study hall B, so the second study hall. I wanted there to be at least 1 on every floor. Then we have pre-calc, calc 1, calc 2, and AP calc all in the same classroom. This room at the end, which used to be the drama, is now like improv, speech, debate. It's things you could use a stage for, because I didn't want to get rid of like what they used for the theater classroom. And it can also be used for like other stuff that's theater related too. It doesn't have to be just those 3. And then the bathrooms, of course, I didn't change any part of that. And then we go up to the next floor. This is going to be history and sciences. So this says country history because it's supposed to mean insert your country. So for me, it would be U.S. history, and then general history, which could entail like women's studies, black history, or it could be like a specific time period. So World War II. No, that would be world. And there's already world history class. Okay, so I guess it would be more like Civil War of whatever country you're in history. Anything that would fall under like a general category. And those were just examples that again fit my country. And then if we move on, at the end of this hallway, which was the music room, I decided we're going to make it economics and government. Don't worry, I'm going to move the music room style, this pretty much same exact thing since it's iconic to AFMAO. I'm going to move it to the actual like choir room that's now in the basement. So it will still have all the classic stuff and the writing that's supposed to be on the wall there that says the inscription that AFMAO and Aaron made. And then instead of jumping over to another history class, we're going to do the sciences because this is a big room. So I wanted to use the big room for the things that require like sinks and stuff. So potions, chemistry, AP chemistry, and culinary. So it needs like countertops, kitchens, and a lot of space. So that's a science class. And then this is another science class. This is for bio and earth, and then anatomy, physics, etc. Again, another class that needs to be large. This used to be the library. This wall is going to come out and it's just going to be one big classroom, just like the other one. And then we can move on to back to the history now. So it's like the two science classes kind of cut in between the flow of the history classes. So then the other thing we have here is the third study hall. So this is study hall C. So we have history, two science, study hall, and then the last history class, I believe. So this is world history, geography, and I also included religion studies because I felt like that fits really good with history because it's all that's what religion is, basically history. So. And then I cut back down to the bottom floor in this classroom that was next to the student council that I didn't know what to do with because I had remembered I forgot to include a senior lounge, and I wanted to do a senior lounge, a place for seniors to come and hang out. So I thought this empty space would be perfect for that. So we're just going to go ahead and make it the senior lounge because it's right next to the assisted ed hallway, and that would be a really good opportunity for seniors to do in their free time since it's so close, is to go over there and like help out, especially if they're looking to be like an educator in college. It would give them really good experience. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I basically just need to work on the decorations and then the outside of the school, which basically is the pathways and the trees and stuff, maybe fix the ponds up a little bit, and then I need to bring the other half of the mountains over, and then I'm gonna landscape like the rest of the there's a whole thing, I'll explain it in another video, but yeah, so I did the layouts and everything, and I just need to work on the decorations now, so this will be finished up in probably 2 more episodes, and then it'll be done and ready for download. And this is what the outside currently looks like right now, in case you're wondering. Yes, my shaders is off because it was lagging really bad, so it does not look as good. But I need to just fix up this area. It's still looking like the original Phoenix Drop High. We gotta spruce it up a little bit to match the magnificence of the large scale of the rest of the school. And then again, I have to get my mountains kind of like brought over. You can't see them right now. And then this area, I'm gonna like fill it in so it's not completely empty. I know I didn't include the building process for the library, but that's because the video was so messed up and the audio was half gone and it was just kind of a nightmare. So I did not include any of that. It just was like, bam, there, it's done. But it is done and we can move on now that it's like 3 weeks late, and I will see you next time.